Hi, I'm Dan. In this segment, we're going to be discussing Advanced Human Resources for Microsoft Dynamics GP. Advanced HR provides a series of features to Dynamics GP Human Resources. These features include certification and license management, enhanced training functions, health and wellness tracking, and benefit lifecycle management. Let's begin by discussing the certification, license, and training features of Advanced Human Resources. The purpose of these features is to give HR professionals tools for tracking certifications, license, and additional training information within Dynamics GP. Let's begin by setting up a certification and a license. We'll start with the certification code. We can open up the certification window, and then we'll choose a certification code that we've already configured and walk through the fields. We have the certification code and description, and then we can also mark which fields are required when updating employee information for this certification. You'll notice that we have the issued by, the certification number, the original issue date, the date renewed, and the expiration date. We can also select which endorsements from our list should be applied to this certification. Once we have our certification code configured, we can save it. The endorsement setup window lets us set up the endorsements that we can utilize in both certifications and license. Now that we have the certification set up, now we can take a look at a license. We'll choose a license that we've already configured. In this case, it's a commercial driver's license. Again, we can mark the fields that are required when we update the employee's information for this license. And just like the certification, we can mark endorsements that may apply to this license. Now that we have the certification and the license set up, now we can walk through the process of assigning those to the employees. Again, we'll start with the certification and enter the data necessary for the certification. First, we choose our employee ID. In this case, we're utilizing Adam Barr. Then we can either enter a new certification or update information for a certification that's already assigned to him. We have the certification code. The certification number can be entered, who that certification is issued by, the original issue date of the certification, the date that it was renewed, as well as the expiration date. You can also have up to 4 user-defined fields where you can track additional information about the certification. Advanced Human Resources also tracks the certification history. So anytime we make a change to the certification for this employee, the historical records will automatically be updated. We can also choose which endorsements this employee has related to the certification. As we open the endorsements window, we'll see the list of endorsements that are possible for this certification, and then we can check the ones that apply to this employee. Now we can assign a license to the employee. This is very similar to assigning a certification. First, we choose the employee ID and then the license number. The license type, in this case, is commercial driver's license. Again, we have the information such as who it's issued by state, original issue date, date that it's renewed, and of course the expiration date. We also have the user-defined fields, which can be used to track additional information about this license for the employee. Again, much like the certifications, We can also track any historical changes that have been made to this license for this employee. We can also designate any endorsements as part of the license for this employee. A common question relating to certification and license management is if there is a report to show upcoming certification or license expirations. The answer is yes. We utilize the SmartList tool within Dynamics GP to show upcoming certification expirations or even a list of all the certifications and licenses that are in the system. The SmartList tool is effective in doing so because of its flexibility and its reminder capabilities. The user can set up the SmartList to look for any certification or license or any expiration date. If we go to the home page within Dynamics GP, we'll see a reminder that says expired certifications. If we click on that reminder, it will take us to the SmartList and show us the expired certification. We can see the employee ID, the certification code, and the expiration date. As with any SmartList, we can also dump all of this information out to an Excel spreadsheet. We've set up and assigned certification and license codes. Now let's look at what Advanced Human Resources adds to the training module within Dynamics GP Human Resources. Advanced HR adds two primary training features to make human resources a better fit for larger organizations. First, additional data can now be tracked regarding an employee's training record, including expiration date, who the training was given by, the attendee's score in the training, as well as the instructor ID. We can track whether this information should be required within the training record or is not required. The second feature that Advanced Human Resources adds to training is the ability to update records for all attendees within a training class. We can choose the course and the class, and Advanced HR will automatically pull in all the attendees in the class. We can then update the instructor information, the given by organization, the completed date, and the expiration date for all employees in the class. That saves us time versus having to update all of their records individually. Now that we've talked about certifications, licenses, and training individually, let's look at some advanced HR features that are common across these three areas. The first feature in advanced HR that ties certification, license, and training together is the ability to set requirements for all three by department and position. Here we'll enter the installation department and the tech position. Here we can see that there is a certification, a license, and also training required for any employee that is in this department and position within the organization. Now, setting the requirement is nice, but it doesn't do us much good if we can't measure against it. To see how employees are doing against this requirement, we can use our % current window within Advanced Human Resources. In the % current window, we can choose our department and position, and the system will automatically look for all of those employees. Now we can start to configure the window to tell us the information that we'd like to see. We want to search employees that are assigned to that department and position, and we want to check against those required certification, license, and training. We can see that some employees are current on those certifications, license, as well as their training. We can see some employees have one or more of those components missing. And we can also see that some employees have some components that are expired. We can view the detailed information, as well as summary information in the window below. Notice that the window gives us a percent current rating, in this case 46.66%, which tells us that department and position, the employees are 46% compliant with the requirement. Within this window, we can also look at specific certifications. We can also search for certain statuses such as expired or missing. This window also gives us other features such as the ability to search for employees with certain certifications or license or training who might also be in a certain status. The next common feature is the addition of the certification, license, and training information to the employee self-service and manager self-service sections of the business portal. When we navigate to the Employee Center page, we can then go to the Skills and Training page. We can see the employee's training history, their certification information, as well as their license information. Again, this information is also available to the employee's manager within the Manager Self-Service Suite. Now that we've discussed the certification, license, and training features, the next feature in Advanced HR that we'd like to walk through is Employee Health and Wellness Tracking. This feature enables human resources to track employee health-related data such as tests or immunizations within Dynamics GP. The first step in configuring employee health and wellness is to set up the health categories. Here we have two categories that have already been set up: immunizations and tests. After we have the categories set up, we can now go ahead and set up our list of potential results. The results will later be used when we assign health and wellness codes to employees. Here you can see that we have some sample results such as complete, negative, none, and positive. Now let's set up our health and wellness codes. The first code that we'll take a look at is a tetanus shot. You'll see that here is a category, which is an immunization. We can also list our potential results, such as complete or none. We can also define a default result. On the hepatitis C code, you'll notice that this category is a test. The potential results are positive and negative. We'll see this all come together as we assign it to an employee. Another option in Employee Health and Wellness is the ability to set up a template, which is a series of health and wellness codes based on a certain description, in this case a food handler. Another example might be an RN, a registered nurse. We can assign those templates to an employee, which means that we want to track those list of results for those codes for that employee based on the template. Now we'll go ahead and look at some codes that have been assigned to an employee. When we open the Health and Wellness entry window, we choose our employee ID, and then we can update or review their health and wellness codes. As you can see, we have the code, the category, the date that it was entered, and also the result. We can also keep track of a date that this code needs to be renewed. Again, we can use the Smart List tool within Dynamics GP to warn us of pending renewals. The Health and Wellness feature also tracks a complete history of these codes within Human Resources. A common question is whether this health and wellness information is HIPAA compliant. Since the data is stored in a secured environment and not being transmitted out of Dynamics GP Human Resources, the health and wellness data is secured and therefore HIPAA compliant. Another capability of the health and wellness feature is to track injury and illness details. Essentially, this means that we can track injury and illness follow-ups within Dynamics GP Human Resources. As a result of this injury and illness, we need to have Adam get another tetanus shot, as well as get another immunization as well. We just set up employee health and wellness categories and codes and assign those codes to employees. We are now ready to move on to Benefit Lifecycle Manager, which is the last feature we'll be discussing in Advanced Human Resources. Benefit Lifecycle Manager adds several features to the Benefits Management module within Dynamics GP Human Resources. These capabilities include the ability to assign dependents directly to benefits, set a maximum number of dependents that can be assigned to a benefit, as well as create future effective records for use during annual enrollment. First, let's go ahead and set up a maximum number of dependents for a benefit code. We'll choose the insurance with family coverage. We can then go to the Go To button and choose Benefit Options. We now have a maximum number of dependents field. This will limit the number of dependents that can be assigned directly to this benefit code. Also within the Benefit Setup window, we can create a future effective record. This future effective record enables us to make benefit changes to the setup record to be used for annual enrollment selections. Here we've chosen 1/1/2018. What we can do now is change contribution amounts, deductible information, or any other benefit information that will be displayed to the employee during benefit enrollment if they're utilizing the Benefit Self-Service feature within Dynamics GP. The Benefit Lifecycle Manager also adds the capability for dependents to be assigned directly to benefit codes. Without Advanced Human Resources, this is not an option. We can have dependents, but previously they could not be assigned directly to the benefit or associated with that benefit code. As part of assigning those dependents to the benefit codes, we can also assign a status reason, meaning that if we assign a dependent to a benefit, we can also associate a reason with that. In this example, as we assign the employee's spouse, we can select the reason that they were married. These reasons are all user-defined. We'll also assign the child. We'll also assign the child to this benefit code. In doing so, we'll select the reason of new child. You can also enter a status change reason if we inactivate a dependent as well. We have now covered all the features of Advanced HR. As you've seen, Advanced HR adds a lot of functionality to Dynamics GP Human Resources, including certification and license management, additional training features, employee health and wellness tracking, and additional functions to better manage benefits.